Thank you. We now go to the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massie.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for holding these hearings. Mr. Chairman, it's been said that all that's necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. But I submit to you we have three very good men here who are going beyond the call of duty to come here and testify today. They have my commitment to protect them from any retribution that may come from this. And I get the sense that there may be other people listening to these testimony today that have answers that we don't have yet. And I would encourage them to come forward as well. We've got a lot of good answers today thanks to these witnesses. I'd like to start with Mr. Thompson. I'm struck by your long and distinguished career of hostage rescue missions, and some of these missions are still classified but were successful. Can you remind us where you were when these events began to unfold?
At my desk in the State Department.
So you were at your desk at the State Department, and you asked to marshal the resources and the team to help with the rescue effort, defense effort, did you not?
Yes, my first call was to the National Security Council, our CT contacts there.
And they, in your testimony, you stated that you were told this was not the right time. Is that correct?
When I referred that question to the Undersecretary for Management's office, yes.
Okay. If this wasn't the right time, when would be the right time? Because this is the source of frustration the American public has, that I have. We're the greatest country in the world, and we left people there, Mr. Hicks and Mr. Stevens, to essentially defend for themselves. And when we had these resources, when would be the right time if this weren't the right time?
There's no answer to that, sir.
Well, staying on that topic of time, would it have been a reasonable thing in an uncertain situation such as this crisis where we don't know how it's going to unfold to go ahead and assemble that team and put them on a plane? Were there sufficient communications on a plane that you could have pulled back a mission that was ready to deploy?
We practice this at least twice a year, as in a complete deployment to a overseas location to work with our interagency partners. And the team, obviously, again, is staffed with interagency CT professionals. The answer to your question is yes, that plane, which is funded by DOD, has a robust communication suite. The senior communicator on there works for me, and he's very competent at his job.
Are you convinced, I know you haven't been allowed to review or even contribute to the Accountability Review Board's report, but are you convinced that the changes have been made so that this won't happen again for another embassy?
No.
Okay, that's troubling to me, and I appreciate your candor. Mr. Hicks, you mentioned that at 2 a.m. you had a phone conversation with Mrs. Secretary Clinton. Is that correct?
Yes.
At any time during that conversation, did she ask what resources you might be able to use or might need?
Yes, she did. I asked for security reinforcements and transport aircraft to move our wounded out of the country to medical facility.
Was there any indication that you would receive air support?
She indicated that the Marine Fast Team was being deployed to bolster our security posture in Tripoli, and that a C-17 would be coming down to take people back.
But no immediate military response?
But the Marines were on their way, and they would be arriving later on the 12th.
Okay. Did you tell the Accountability Review Board about Secretary Clinton's interest in establishing a permanent presence in Benghazi? Because ostensibly, wasn't that the reason that the ambassador was going to Benghazi?
Yes, I did tell the Accountability Review Board that Secretary Clinton wanted the post made permanent. Ambassador Pickering was surprised. He looked both ways to the members of the board saying, does the 7th floor know about this? And another factor in Chris's decision was our understanding that Secretary Clinton intended to visit Tripoli in December.
Pickering was surprised that his mission was to establish a permanent facility there?
Yes.
That's your impression?
Yes.
Okay. I thank you for your time. I thank the witnesses.